I'm Turk Strawman at the Ron Q Ramen Truck. Thank you for selecting this, my 800th upload. Before I continue, if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, you're late. But it's never too late. Do it now. That way you can also activate the notification bell feature and be apprised of my new uploads, if there ever will be one. Give this video a thumb up right now to share the joy of this channel with others. Right now, lest you forget to do it later. My 800th upload. What's it about? What's it about? I'm not sure yet. But one thing I do want to say. I just re-uploaded a video. What's it called? What the heck do I call it? What am I calling it now? What is it? Well, excuse me. It's called Digging the Sacred Grave of Louisa. All right. So listen to this. I got a comment here. Already. A comment. Some user called Trump 2024. Actually, it's 20Z4. The comment said, "This is garbage. Jesus is king." Now, I was just making videos, right? I just posted a couple of videos about judgment, judging people, and religious dogma. Well, now there we get an example of both in one short comment, don't we? I hid the user from my channel. This is garbage. Jesus is king. All right. Whatever. Yeah, everybody's allowed to have their own opinion. But they don't have to get up on my channel and up in my face about it. Off into the ether with it! Now, what am I going to talk about here? I don't have a plan. Alright, now I do. As a youth, I was very rebellious. As you may know, I grew up Plymouth Brethren. I thought my father was kind of like God. God's spokesperson. He was related to people who were part of the origin of Plymouth Brethrenism in Ireland. My father's uncle's father, knew John Darby. John Darby, the inventor of Plymouth Brethrenism, sent my father's uncle's father to the United States to establish Plymouth Brethrenism here. And my father was, he was authoritarian at home. And he backed up all of his verbal violence and physical violence and strict disciplinarianship with the Word of God. I thought my father was kind of like related to God or something. Well, I was a rebel. I didn't like anybody telling me what to do. I still don't. I don't like people running my life, running my mind, running what I'm supposed to think, running my power of will, telling me how I'm supposed to act. Never did, still don't, never will. I remember one time, my father, I was in my bedroom. I think I was about 14. I had made a tomahawk. I was very into Native American stuff at the time. some years earlier, I think maybe I was 9 years old, I found a stone and I chipped away at it, made it into like a tomahawk head. I found a piece of wood and I split it part way down, stuck the stone in there, and then I took some string and I wound it and wound it and wound it. I secured that stone in there really good. It was my tomahawk. My father, I was about 14 now, charging back the hallway. He burst into my door. He was going to tell me what's what. He's probably going to use some fists on me. He was enraged about something. Something I had done, something I was doing. Maybe I was playing my music too loud or something. I don't know. He threw the door open, and he met my tomahawk coming straight down to his head. Hard! But it didn't hit his head. It hit the door because he slammed it shut. He never did anything like that again. I already had borderline personality disorder well underway. I didn't know that. At the time, I didn't know that. I was a mess. I was a mess. I started to envision myself if I didn't do something to change the course of things. I saw a future with me being savage, very destructive, very criminal. Now, mind you, my IQ was about 160. I was very bright. And I seemed to be obsessed with plotting crimes, really bad stuff. For example, I vaguely remember just one thing, like setting fire to a building. Just something that I envisioned myself doing. Just that I was my mind was, for this period of time, constantly contriving such things. Setting fire to a building. And all the, it was a small town. All the fire companies, all the fire trucks would be there. And I'd set another one on the other side of town. And I'd just keep on doing it. And I worked it out so that I wouldn't get caught. I would arrange alibis and all of this, just like instantaneously in my mind. The whole plan. This just kept on going. Eventually, I saw myself in the future murdering people, like serial killer style, dismembering them, taking out their intestines and so forth, laying in them, rolling around in them, having sex with them. This was disturbing to me. I noticed that if I didn't stop things, the progression of things, this is where I was headed. I was a psychopath. So I changed the course. I set out on a course of replacing those thoughts with others. And those thoughts subsided. Then I noticed that I was developing separate personalities. And they were just about unique and distinct from one another. It would have been a case of multiple personality disorder. It was in the making. But I resolved that too. I convinced myself that all these different personalities are just aspects of me. It's all just me. In high school, I think ninth grade, there was a course being offered. I think it was only for 1 year. It was called personality development. I thought it had to do with self-betterment. I took it. Here was some psychologist guy who was offering a course on Freud, Sigmund Freud, to ninth graders, right? Sigmund Freud's theories. And how, as the personality is developing, there can be all these things in weird directions they can go. You can develop, all of these manias, like pyromania, this thing, that thing, on and on and on. I was convinced that I had them all. So I went around the neighborhood setting fires at night. Now, according to Freud, all of this stuff that happens all boils down to sex. A pyromaniac gets sexual pleasure. He gets off on the fires of sex. So I thought I was getting sexual pleasure out of it. Everything I did, that fit in with Freud. If I didn't do something that fit in, well, then I would start to. And I'd be convinced. I had to pull myself out of all that. And I did. Later on through life, I guess you might know the rest of the story. It settled into, full-blown borderline personality disorder. Well, I consider myself to be a winner. I circumvented psychopathy. I circumvented multiple personality disorder. By myself. On my own. As a teenager. Who actually had borderline personality disorder. In the making. That's a huge achievement. I guess that's about all I have to say. This is my 800th video. 800th upload. Well, I'm alive and I'm well. And I have a wonderful wife. Her name's Allie. Hello, Allie.
Yeah.
Hi. She's an angel. And I love her. Maybe there'll be more uploads, maybe there won't. I don't know. There are 800 now. I hope you watch them all. You like this one? Give it a thumb up. Subscribe, get notified, share the joy of the channel with others. Thanks for selecting this one. Number 800. I'm Dirk Strongman at the Ron Q. Ramen Drive. Be well.